Alright, today we're going to be talking about analysis of competing hypotheses. What is that, you may ask? Well, ask no more. It is labeled as one of the 6 techniques that every analyst should master, no matter what their specialization is. Why I picked this one is because it's actually, there's a program for it, which is right here now, that is free online. If you go to the Palo Alto Research Center website, you can download it if you have either Windows or a Java client if you have a Mac, like myself. When a group of analysts have different hypotheses about a topic, this program can be used to compare each with known evidence to determine which is the least inconsistent. So the program has a setup in which you have hypotheses right here, and evidence, which is displayed right here. I'm going to go through, I made a scenario in which I could test out the program and use it, and it's sort of a joke, but through demonstrating this way, you can see how it can be used in a counterterrorism setting. So the question we're trying to answer is Wyatt cool? And we have 3 hypotheses about this, and the first one is Wyatt is cool because he's an avid skateboarder, knows how to get 90% on Prayer for the Refugee, on Expert, on Guitar Hero, and conforms to popular tastes in TV and music. The second hypothesis, Wyatt is not cool because he's bad at skateboarding, can only play the drums on Rock Band on Medium without losing, doesn't like popular drama shows, and likes stupid music created by computers more than actual music. Then we have the third option. Wyatt is a hipster because he only listens to indie rock, doesn't play popular games or watch popular TV shows, and wears glasses even though he doesn't need them. So those are the 3 hypotheses we're going to try to compare and find which one is the least wrong. Now, also we have evidence, parts of data that we can use to test which one of these is the most right. So, I'll read them out. 1. Wyatt's friend claims that Wyatt loves the band Neighborhood. Wyatt gives low ratings on Netflix to the popular show The Blacklist. Wyatt Spotify shows that he recently listened to Knife Party, a popular EDM group, according to Netflix's history. He's given 4 stars to popular shows like The Office. Wyatt got a 75% on Prayer for the Refugee on Medium. Wyatt does not own a skateboard. Wyatt does not own Rock Band. Now, we can assign these pieces of evidence credibility, which is listed right here, and relevance, which is listed right here. Credibility says how reliable the evidence is, like where you got your information. So this one, Wyatt's friend claims that Wyatt loves the band Neighborhood, would have low credibility because it comes from a witness that might have reason to lie. Whereas Wyatt gives low ratings on Netflix to the popular show The Blacklist would have high because it comes directly from him without any motivation to lie. Relevance is how much does the factor determine. Now, this depends on how relevant it is to the hypotheses. If I do love the band The Neighborhood, because it has to do with my musical taste, which is a large part in determining whether I'm cool or not, it has a large amount of relevance. Now we get to consistency, which determines which of these are consistent with the hypothesis, which pieces of evidence are consistent with the hypothesis, and which pieces of evidence are inconsistent with the hypothesis. So we have 6 options. We have very inconsistent, inconsistent, doesn't apply, neutral, consistent, and very consistent. Wyatt's friend claims that Wyatt loves the band Neighborhood would be inconsistent with this one because the band Neighborhood, besides Sweather Weather, is not a very popular band. Wyatt is not cool because he's bad at skateboarding, can only play the drums, and likes computer music, is also inconsistent, however, because Neighborhood actually has vocalists and musicians and instruments rather than being made on electronic devices. It would be consistent, however, with the final hypothesis because the Neighborhood is in fact indie rock. You go through this process with each of the evidence pieces. Now, only inconsistencies affect the overall inconsistency score because it's not trying to prove which is the most consistent. It's just trying to prove which is the least inconsistent. So the overall inconsistency score, which is, once again, determined by these factors, very inconsistent would be like 2 points, inconsistent would be 1 point, and then it would be determined by the decimals, and other variables would be determined by the low and the high settings, which you would put on that. So overall, the first hypothesis, which is why it is cool, has an inconsistency rating of -6.9. Hypothesis 2, why it is not cool, has an inconsistency of -4.5. Hypothesis 3, why it is a hipster, has an inconsistency rating of -8.2. Now, since hypothesis 2, why it is not cool, has the least inconsistencies, meaning it's probably the one that's most correct. I don't know. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Yeah, it didn't look as daunting as I thought, which is a pleasant surprise.